You're listening to WICR, Iona College Radio.
Welcome to this New York Sports Machine segment. I'm Anthony Carlo here along with the one and only Mike DeMurgis talking some sports here today at Iona College. And Mike, today has been a rough day for Ray Rice and the NFL.
Well, great week one, and come Monday, everybody's talking about Ray Rice, and the NFL pretty much suspended him indefinitely, and the Ravens took the act, and I give them credit for that, of letting him go. And you know what? If Roger Goodell would have taken care of business the way he should have when this first happened, we wouldn't be talking about it now. We'd be talking about the great games over the weekend and not about Ray Rice and what's going on with domestic abuse, hitting his girlfriend, and he's getting cut. And let's face it, the Ravens are, to me, kind of a dark organization.
Right.
You go back to the days of Ray Lewis when he pleaded guilty to obstruction of justice, a murder trial.
Right.
Many of their players through the years had trouble with the law, which does seem common with a lot of NFL teams, but the Ravens in particular. But I give them credit here. They took the action. They know they were getting the bad press, and they said, you know what, Ray Rice, we're going to win without you. And they took a stand today. And this really, a lot of players should heed the warning that the NFL isn't going to stand pat with domestic violence anymore and violence against women.
Absolutely, Mike. I want to point out a great point you made. Roger Goodell, you made the point that we would be able to concentrate on the games of yesterday if he had done what we expected them to do when that original video came out with him dragging his girlfriend out of the elevator. Now, do you feel that it was basically put in his hands right now to make that statement now and give him the utmost, pretty much the worst possible the worst possible punishment for doing an act such as that now, since he waited and did not act upon it in the first video that came out?
You know, maybe it's just me, but I don't know how society could look at players and men in general who strike women and say, it's okay, we're going to give you a 2-game suspension.
Right.
Because if one of us did that at a company we work, we'd be gone.
Right.
But somehow athletes and actors, they can get away with this stuff, and it's okay. We'll still go to the movies. We'll still go to their games. And the Ravens must have been getting some kind of backlash within the organization that says, hey, look, we're a business. This is affecting our product. We have to let him go. But the problem I have is that his girlfriend, then fiance, was on the floor. Mm-hmm. We don't know what happened in the elevator, really. Unless she had a gun or a knife, you don't touch a woman.
Right.
She was cold-cocked, and everybody knew it, and now the video proved it. Ray Rice is about the size of me, 5'7", probably 225 pounds, and as strong as hell. And if he hit me or you, we'd be out. Imagine what he does to a light and dainty woman.
I mean, it's unbelievable how athletes today, I mean, we can go through the whole spiel of what we already know, basically. Athletes today are supposed to be role models, They're supposed to be for young athletes, especially New Rochelle. This is where we are, Iona College. If you remember the speeches this guy would make, everybody was so proud. New Rochelle's favorite son, that's who Ray Rice is. And he goes and makes stupid decisions like this, and now it just tarnishes everything. It tarnishes not only the representatives of this sport, but it makes everything just difficult for young athletes growing up to watch. Look at Ray Rice dragging his girlfriend out of an elevator. That video wasn't good enough. We had to wait now for further proof that, like you said, what else could he have done? Why was he dragging her out? He obviously hit her. And finally we get proof from TMZ. Now, listen to me. The Ravens had said that they had not seen this video. Why was it so difficult for them to
They want to win. That's why.
Well, yeah,
they want to win. Where's the proof? Where's the smoking gun? That's what I heard for years about the steroid users. That's what I heard for years about Roger Clemens and Barry Bonds. Where's the proof? Same thing with Alex Rodriguez. Well, we have the proof. There's a saying, where there's smoke, there's fire. And, Ray Rice, from what I understand, is a really good guy, does a lot with the community here in New Rochelle.
Right.
There's a lot worse guys that have gotten away with a lot more. And, in a way, he's being made an example of, but justice is being done here. You can't strike a woman, and players have to wake up. Mm-hmm. You can't do that no matter what anybody says to you. You can't raise your hands to a woman, minority, kids. This isn't the 1950s anymore.
No.
This can't be done where it was socially acceptable. There's this great comedy that I love, The Honeymooners, sitcom back in the 1950s,
Right.
starring Jackie Gleason, Audrey Meadows, Joyce Randolph, and Art Carney. And in the lines is the character played by Jackie Gleason, Ralph Cramden, would tell his wife, "One of these days, Alice, bang, zoom, right to the moon."
Right, I remember that. I see that now.
Today, you can't do something like that. You can't accept that. But
Absolutely
you
not.
know, Ray Rice, this is really, he's paying what he did right now, and it's probably going to destroy him in a lot of ways. I don't know where you go from here. You if you don't miss a year in the NFL as a running back, that really affects you because running backs only have so many years. It's like Muhammad Ali when he lost those years as a boxer
Right.
when he protested the Vietnam War.
Right.
Where's he going to go from here? Maybe does he go up to the CFL and play? That might be a possibility.
Well, yeah, I mean, listen, right now, I mean, the situation Ray Rice has put himself in is going to detrimentally hurt himself for years to come. I mean, this is not going to be easy to bounce back from. But I think you see a culture in the NFL, and, not only the NFL, obviously other sports, but I think the NFL amongst the rest as number one, where a culture of violence, drugs, and a bunch of things that really people should not be exposed to when you're watching athletes getting paid so much money. Look at Deshaun Jackson, the gang relations that supposedly got him cut from the Eagles. I mean, look at Johnny Manziel. I mean, he hasn't done anything that we can call a crime right now, but the guy is he exposes himself to too many controversial things.
I think being controversial is way different from slugging somebody, or as Sebastian Janikowski, the kicker for the Raiders, he once gave a girl a date rape drug, and he's been kicking all these years for the Raiders. How does that happen? and the NFL just looks differently. They look differently as steroids. Players only get hit for a 4-game suspension. Like Sean Merriman, look at him. He's on the NFL Network, and he got banned for using substance abuse steroids, PEDs, years ago. So the NFL just has a different perception of everything than I think baseball does and the other sports do.
Right.
It's a problem though. But fans love the game, and they're willing to overlook it if they could win. I remember years ago when Ben Roethlisberger had the charges against a woman that he was he assaulted a girl in a bar, and I remember talking to women that were Steeler fans, and they were almost on Roethlisberger's side.
Wow.
How could you be on Roethlisberger's
Wow.
side?
I don't understand that.
You know what I'm saying?
No, you'd be trying to advocate for that woman. Try to support that woman who got hit.
So fans are fickle, but I think that the voices were loud and clear on this, and that's why the Ravens acted the way they did, and all the media was screaming from the mountaintop that you got to do something here. 2 games? Are you kidding me? So Ray's got to live with it now, and like I said, from what I've heard, I've never met Ray. He's a great guy, great in the community. Just 18 months ago, right here on North Avenue in front of City Hall, Ravens had their Super Bowl. He was honored. He talking to all the fans. New Rochelle's favorite son, and,
right.
and now this, and it's a
big blow.
It's a big blow.
Yeah.
It's a tragedy for everybody. It's a tragedy for young kids that grew up looking at him, and I just hope kids realize you do a crime, you're going to do the time.
I mean, it's a great point. Roger Goodell made that an example, of Ray Rice, and unfortunately, what he did, though, I mean, it needs to be punished, like you said. There needs to be adequate punishment for something like that. The whole perception in the NFL, like you're talking about, you can't always blame these players. You can't always blame them for doing certain things. Obviously, he did something terrible, but if you look at, you mentioned the steroid things, and in baseball, sometimes you realize that a lot of the guys who come up in the NFL, they had nothing when they were smaller and when they were growing up. We know that happens in all sports, but look, this is not a surprise to anyone. Guys in the NFL, they grew up in a lot of them times in bad neighborhoods, didn't have much money, grew up in tough situations, and sometimes that reflects when they get actually up there.
Look, I understand that, but they have to adapt to the situation they're in. They have to surround themselves with people that put them in the right direction, just not the money grubbers and the hanger-oners that are going to take their money, and then once the cheering's done, where are they then?
Yeah.
They're nowhere.
Yeah.
Look, you got to forget where you came from. Not everybody came from a garden of roses,
yes.
per se. So if you get out, there's a saying, you could take the boy out of the Bronx, but you can't take the Bronx out of the boy.
Right.
Sometimes you got to forget. Don't forget where you came from.
Right.
But you're a different person now.
Mm-hmm.
You're playing the NFL. You have different responsibilities. And you look to improve yourselves through what work you do and through education. And that's a role model these kids really have to play.
Can't agree more with that. I think that for us, NFL fans, for us football fans, I think we would enjoy just enjoying talking about football games instead of the suspension of Ray Rice today. But unfortunately, Ray Rice has been cut by the Ravens, has been suspended indefinitely by the NFL, and this has been our take. Mike DeMurgis, Anthony Carlo here on the New York Sports Machine segment from Iona College. We will see you next time.